What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another day in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox. The season has ended and I made it into Mythic in the nick of time by the very, very skin of my teeth. And, better late than never. I was really terrified to break my record. It would have been the first time I had not made it into Mythic before the season ends in over a year, and it was particularly hard for me to find the time to do the grind this past month in September due to traveling. I was all over the place in Portugal with shoddy internet connections and doing tourist stuff, and so for that reason I had I got there in the end, but it was a little bit slower than usual. But I thought, in celebration, today is the 1st of October, we've got a brand new season ahead of us. Before I put my head down and start pushing up into Mythic again, it would be a great time to just do a little celebratory or, just a celebratory video and play a little bit of Jank before we get serious again. And it's a deck that, to be perfectly honest, I have been working on since the very beginning of September. I spent the entire month trying to make this deck work. And I don't even think that it is quite there yet. But I'm just sick of creating decks, deleting them, creating the deck, deleting it. Anyway, I'm blabbing. Let's jump into the deck builder. Well, first of all, here's my season's rewards. So, pretty nice. I'm already well into the saving mode for Crimson Vow. Let's see what we got in these packs. I think there's only one Mythic that I would like to still get from this set, which is the 5-mana Ooze. Something blob, I think it's called. 3 colorless, 2 green Ooze. I do really want to get my hands on at least one more copy of that. So even if we just get a Mythic wild card, I will spend that on said Ooze. What's it gonna be? Oh wait, this is those weren't even, that's AFR boosters. Okay, well, cool. I didn't have a 4th copy of Flame Skull. I don't really like the card, but there we go. We got a Flame Skull. What's available on the store today? Why are you flashing little orange notification symbols at me? Daily deals. Okay. Nah. I am saving my money and gems and everything for Crimson Vow from this point on. I think the only reason why I would spend money, or spend in-game money right now, is to get my hands on the blob. I think 3 copies of Spectral Adversary is probably enough. I might, splurge and grab one more of that. 2 copies of Sigardian Savior is as much as anyone's ever going to need in a deck that would run this type of card. But consuming blob, I do think we would like to have a 3 or a 4 of in a deck specifically built to take care. I would like to make a deck building around this blob, but I don't have the wild cards right now. So yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about today's brew. Jeskai turns. Okay. What I've been trying to do since the beginning of September is to put Angelfire Ignition on the Velomachus Lorehold, thus making it a 7/7, so that when you attack with it, you hit one of these 2 big spells, Alrund's Epiphany or Magma Opus, and then we keep taking turns and smash them to bits with dragons. We've also got Galvanic Iteration, which is the new copy spell. There's 3 of them in standard right now, which is quite insane. I don't think there's ever been that many in a single set. We've got Dual Strike. We've got in a single format. We've got Teach by Example, and we've got Galvanic Iteration. And of course, there's also the ultimate of Rowan and Will. So, that could be a pretty crazy janky build at some point if we want to try that. Like put all of those in some sort of a deck and go crazy, maybe some sort of burn deck. But, that'll be reserved for when we make it into Mythic later this month. And then I will be able to unleash the Jank Lord within. But until then, let's just try using the new one, Galvanic Iteration. Just a couple of copies. Nothing crazy. And how many lands am I running? So 24. I just went down one Alrund's Epiphany because I do want to go up one more copy of what's it called? The Giant Slayer thing, the blue creature land, Hall of the Storm Giants. That's what I was thinking about. So there's no basic planes. Because there's only a little bit of white. We're splashing white for the Angelfire Ignition and for the Velomachus Lorehold. Everything else is just sort of your typical Jeskai, beg your pardon, Izzet Prismari shell with Expressive Iteration, Dragonfire, Sword Coming, Goldspan Dragon, Alrund's Epiphany. Like these cards in a certain amount of numbers are kind of the backbone of that Izzet Dragons deck that has been around since before Standard 2022. The main addition here is, like I said, instead of doing what a lot of people are doing with this deck right now, which is with the egg, Smoldering Egg, and there's that new guy Vadric, which I'm also been trying to sort of use. Vadric, the Astral Archmage. But I'm focusing more on Velomachus because I do love this card so much. 5/5 flyer with haste and vigilance that allows you to look at the top 7 cards of your library, and you can cast instants and sorceries, spells with mana value less than or equal to Velomachus's power from among them without paying its mana cost. So if we can make this a 7/7, we can cast Alrund's Epiphany or Magma Opus for free. And since we have a total of 6 of those in the deck, I think it's quite likely that we will hit one of them. And the cool thing is, all of the other hits, except for the counter spells, are also really, really good to get. So I'm not too worried about whiffing per se with this brew. So if the strategy hasn't become clear to you yet at this point, let me just quickly run through the deck from left to right, as I always do, and then we'll jump into some gameplay footage, and then, because we're in Platinum, I'm not too worried. I'm going to take it straight onto the ladder and see if we can actually do the thing at least once before this video is over. So we got 2 copies of Test of Talents. Counter target instant or sorcery spell, search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that spell and exile them. This is just great for the mirror match. You want to be using this specifically against the opponent's Alrund's Epiphanies, or Blood on the Snow, or what are the other, really, an important counter spell, which often players are running, one-offs. There's not too many people running 6 counter spells, but personally, I'm starting to really, really, really hate Divide by Zero. You Test of Talents, they Divide by Zero. There goes their entire lesson board, because they don't often run 2 different learn cards in that deck. And you know which deck I'm talking about. It's CGB's Azorius Brew, which is just, I've been coming up against so much lately. The 0 win con, except for the lesson board, which has, I think he's running 2 or 3 copies of Mascot Exhibition, and just 3 or so Hall of the Storm Giants, and Teferi, the new one, and he's just countering everything you play, doom scarring everything you get onto the field, bouncing everything back to your hand, and then eventually grinds you into the dust, and eventually plays a couple of copies of Mascot Exhibition and Alrund's Epiphany and gets you that way. It's the most frustrating deck to play against. It doesn't let you do anything. It just draws the game out for hours and hours, and eventually you just get ground into the dust by little birdies and creature lands, and he can constantly reshuffle cards back into his hand with what's it called? I think I'm going to sneak a couple copies of it in this deck as well. I think it might be actually a really good idea. It's the new one that is a reprint here, Devious Cover-Up. I prefer the old art, but let's just play the new one. A couple copies of Devious Cover-Up, so then like all of his important counter spells and things just end up being reshuffled back into the library, and this is endless value train that lasts forever, and you're never going to beat him, and it's so frustrating. I can't tell you the number of times that I've run up against that deck over the last couple of days, especially in that last little push into Mythic that I struggled with last night. But yeah, so this we really want to be countering the key spells in that deck with Test of Talents so that you get rid of them for the rest of the game. Next up, some removal. It is a dragon deck. There are only dragons except for the Alrund's Epiphany birdies. So we've got Dragon's Fire that can, be pretty big. If you Angelfire Ignition onto one of these dragons, they get bigger and bigger, which makes the amount of damage that you can do with Dragon's Fire more and more and more. But most of the time you're doing it for 3 in the early game just to control those annoying early game threats from mono white and mono green. And we've got Draconic Intervention as a sweeper, which we can, there's spells in here like the Magma Opus, which we can cycle if we need to ramp a little bit in the early game. We can cycle it away, or discard it, create a treasure token. It's sitting in the graveyard. Then you Draconic Intervention, you exile the Magma Opus from your graveyard, and you can do a 7 mana board 7 damage board wipe, and that takes care of pretty much everything in the format right now. But even if there's something small like a sword coming, or we never want to get rid of Angelfire to the Draconic Intervention because it's got flashback. We want to be using this multiple times if possible. But even sometimes something as small as an Expressive Iteration or a Dragon's Fire, you can just do a 2 mana board wipe, a 2 damage board wipe with Draconic Intervention can sometimes be enough. Oh, and now we've just snuck in a couple copies of Devious Cover-Up. So, there's plenty of things that we can exile to Draconic Intervention to have as a sort of a sweeper. Then, 3 copies Sword coming, 3 copies Angelfire Ignition, 2 copies Devious Cover-Up, 4 Goldspan Dragons. Goldspan Dragon! My buddy over at MTGA Malone cracks me up. Goldspan Dragon. And then I went for 3 copies of Velomachus Lorehold because we do want to get him in every single game. Now, this is obviously a very janky pile. It's going to be tough to get this thing to go off, but we're in platinum. I'm not too worried about my rank at this point in the season. So let us just give it a try and see if we can refine it during the course of this video. At this point in my videos, I always like to do a little bit of self-promotion and ask my viewers to kindly consider subscribing to the channel if they have not done so already. I'm rapidly approaching the 200 subscriber mark, at which point a giveaway will be triggered. I'm giving away a full set of Bob Ross lands, as well as some other cosmetics. So if you would like to take part in that, look in the video description down below. There is a little link that says giveaway information video. You just click on that, watch it. It's less than 5 minutes, and you will have at that point learned everything that there is to learn about the giveaway and how to take part. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and hit the bell icon if you would like to be notified of future daily uploads. Okay, so look at the top of the no. One of them, I always get Expressive Iteration wrong. I don't play with it enough. So one goes into my hand. probably Test of Talents. Opponents foretelling something there. The other one goes into the bottom of my library, so Expressive Iteration, and then we can play the Field of Ruin. Boom. Can Goldspan next turn? Okay, it looks like the mirror match, unfortunately. That's almost certainly... I mean, we could risk it. But I think we just try and play around it. Until we have enough mana to counter his counter. Getting rid of the den. Let's go fetch ourselves a red source. Blue source, blue source. There we go. So now we still need to wait one more turn. This is an absolute mirror match. Well, I mean, it looks like he's just playing. No. Okay, he lets it happen. So there is a slightly higher chance that this is actually... Whew, okay, we can Goldspan. The way is free. Boom. Double Goldspan. Why not? Don't think you can Alrund's Epiphany with that, buddy. Okay. Let's see. No. I'm okay with losing a Goldspan. Save the Test of Talents. Save it for the Alrunds. Not this time. I don't think he's got enough mana to do anything about that. So no more Dragon's Fires for you, my dear fellow. Let's have a look at his deck. Okay, it's definitely the more spelly version. Less dragons, more spells. There we go, there's the Smoldering Egg. He's got 2 Goldspans in hand. And 1 bounce spell. Sure, give me more gold. I'm okay with that. I can replay that Goldspan right now. And you don't even get to scry. Not entirely sure why you would do that. I guess desperation. Although he's probably going to start Alrunzing. Or is it saw it coming? But it's okay. Let's make him use those counter spells. There we go. Fine with me. Bottom of my library. Exile. You have to block one of them. Whew. that felt pretty good. I think we navigated that one very, very nicely. Full knowledge of what the opponent had in his deck and how it is that we're going to play around that so that we can obtain our endgame. That was a very nice little first game of the season for me. If that's the way things are to be for the rest of the month, then you know, a sign of what I've got in stock, then I'm very happy with that. But yeah, this Is It list is rapidly gaining ground in the meta. It's of course still plenty of Asika's Chariot / Ren and 7 decks all the way up and down the ladder, but there's also a lot of this happening, and yeah, it's okay. I'm not going to say it yet, but I am starting to slowly get very sick and tired of Alrund's Epiphany. Very slowly, but very surely. It's pretty busted, and with so many ways to copy the spell in Standard, you know, people are able to take an obscene amount of turns. Obscene. I was kind of hoping for a red source there, but that's okay. Mono white. Luminarch as pirate. As CGB likes to call him. We need to get Draconic Intervention and something in the graveyard ASAP, or we are going to lose to this aggro deck. Can fetch a red source. We also get to shuffle the deck. Hopefully that'll bring us a little bit of better luck. We are not playing any snowlands, so I'm not too worried about Redain. But we do need to get rid of these guys pretty quickly because things are not looking great. Okay. And bottom of library. So it's not just mono white, huh? Azorius. Azorius mid-range? Monk class. Interesting. Double as pirate. We are going to lose this one, ladies and gents. I have a very, very, very bad feeling about this one. No answers available yet. Down to 10. Yeah, that is gonna be game, I believe. $10 damage next turn, yeah. Next. Onwards to the next game. Ooh, black and white today. I'm going to re-roll that. See if we can get a 750. Yes! Black or green. Much more my speed. I can play my Golgari deck. Just, you know, typical BrewLab fashion. Let's just dive in here quickly and have a look at what we could do to make it a little bit more consistent against the mono white lists. You know, Draconic Intervention as our only sweeper. Do we maybe slide in a few copies of what's it called? The Foretell card, that this one, Crush the Weak. 2 damage isn't quite there. We could also just get rid of Draconic and put in Doomscar instead. Then that wipes our own dragons. We could also just get rid of Magma Opus entirely and make it so that the Velomachus's 7 mana hit is only, you know, because this is actually an 8 mana spell. And put put in you know, more removal instead of just Dragon's Fire. Let's just play a couple more games and see how it goes before I decide on any adjustments. Hello Mum, good morning. Okay. I like. Oh, puppy sleeves. Are we playing a? No. I was expecting a Gruul list with those sleeves. Okay, Dimir control. That was stupid. I should have played the Galvanic Iteration before playing my land. That is a very important thing to note. I've spoken about it in previous videos a lot. You Galvanic Iteration before you play your land, so that if you get a land in the cards that you exile with it, test the talents, baby. Ruining games. This card is so good right now. It's so good. He gets to look at my hand, look at my deck, get all the information that he needs, and exile, you know, important spells. It's so good. It's so good. I get to draw a card at least. Whoopee! Would you look at that? Get to draw a card, mate. That was horrible. Absolutely terrible. But hey, c'est la vie. That is his own shortcoming for sure. We're in the same position as last game. Can't play into the counter spell. We need to have enough mana to counter the counter, if that makes any sense. And hopefully he won't counter the counter that we countered. We're 1 mana away from semi-safely casting a Goldspan. Let's foretell. Okay, I was not expecting a rogue. Not at all. Nice. He knew I had that there. Okay. We let this one go. You know, he was playing some mind games there. That's almost 100% guaranteed a sword coming. Okay. Sure. We can still hit the bugger, Angelfire. Are you gonna block that, really? Sure. No problems. We could be looking at a Zareth San, unfortunately, but I do have a beautiful Dragon's Fire in hand for that, if necessary. Cheap removal on the Velomachus. I think in that case I will counter it, and if my counter gets countered, at least that sword coming is gone. Okay, the new rogue, Stormkirk Blood Thief. We didn't leave enough mana up. Boopy boopy doo doo. I can do this. Scooby doo bap doo boop dee boop. Now we have to get one of those Angelfires now. Pity. Now we have no counter spell, so he can get rid of one of them. Which will he choose? Okay, it's an Alrunds. Rogues with Alrunds? Sure. That's an interesting deck. Something new. People are just so sad that their rogue list sucks now. Come on, give me that hit that I want off this Velomachus. That's beautiful. That's just gorgeous. Bye-bye now. Hope you have a lovely day. Jeskai, you know, the ability to play Velomachus in your Is It Dragons deck just by splashing a bit of white is just makes the thing exponentially better, in my opinion. I'm now starting to have a little idea formulating in the back of my mind. I don't know if it's a good one, but you know, we're in the lab. We need to tinker. What I want to do is this, so we don't, without completely destroying the deck, let's clone it. Let's get rid of Expressive Iteration. Let's get rid of the Devious Cover-Up. Let's put in this again, and let's play some Scalds. And put in, maybe let's just leave one Expressive Iteration. Right. What's this program called again? Something Wolf. Okay, we can maybe just go back down to 3 and put in 2 of these. Another good reason to splash white. It's only one white pip on all of these white cards that we're splashing. There's no double white pips, so it's easy to try. Okay, let's try the Scalds version. I do love Scalds as a way of drawing cards, gaining card advantage. That's the first time I've seen that avatar. Okay, and also the first time we're seeing Angelfire Ignition in hand, but not exactly a very good hand though. That is the first time I've seen that avatar. Cool. I think we mulligan this one. Okay, pretty much the exact same hand. Okay, black. Come on, do your Deadly Dispute. Sure. I want to test the talents that Deadly Dispute so badly. But we will settle for Dragons firing his Hive of the Eye Tyrant, which always feels pretty nice. Okay, we are into Goldspan territory. You know, don't forget that casting Angelfire Ignition onto your Goldspan is also really, really good because you get a treasure and it grows and it gains vigilance. I'm all about that. It's probably a okay. Not expecting that. White sauce. A pity. We could have done the thing early, but that's okay. We save it for next turn. I think now we can just activate a hall as a blocker, which is quite nice. Okay. Our Goldspan is going to be bigger than your Goldspan next turn, so I am not too worried about that. And we're also going to be gaining some life. The opponent doesn't have access to sweepers by the look of things. I don't think he's running Blood on the Snow in a deck like this. Beautiful. Let's go digging. See what we can come up with. This in hand, we do not need bottom of my library. We don't need the Draconic. Watch them scoop. This is gonna be great. Watch this. We can probably do it very many times. This is gonna be disgusting. Come on, scoop. This card is so much fun to play with. The Angelfire Ignition. It's really, really busto, and it's just really, really funzo. The opponent just, yeah, he knew what was coming. Nice. So far, a really good start to the day. Feeling really good about myself. We are sitting on 38 minutes of recording. I want to make this a nice 1 hour long video to make up for the fact that I could not stream last night. My son has some, he's feeling sick. It was a horrible night for mom and dad, as you might be able to tell from these bags under my eyes. I'll keep that. I'll risk it. Okay. Mono white would have been an absolute disaster if we'd kept that. Another Rakdos list. 2 in a row. It's almost certainly a Goldspan in here as well. Oh, yay. Mr. Anderson. Okay, cool. I can dig. We can Draconic Intervention before he manages to get the Immerstrom down. That makes it so that his Immerstrom has nothing to sacrifice to gain indestructibility, which just makes me a very happy little chappy. Bye-bye. Off you go. Please come again. He's probably got a Deadly Dispute on one of these guys just to get a little bit of extra value there. Immerstrom is just such a good card. Such a good card. Right now in this format, it dodges so much good removal and just grows and everything. I'm all about the Immerstrom Predator. Unfortunately, we drew a showdown, and now we got rid of our treasure token, so we are unable to scald. So if we do not top deck a land, things are going to start to look a little bit desperate next turn. Big problems. Don't think we got the tempo on this one, lads and ladies, lads and lassies. Not looking good at all. We can still Dragon's Fire on the Immerstrom for 3 and force the sacrifice of Goldspan unless he wants to lose the Immerstrom. It's not a very good trade. Okay. It's not good at all. Better potent than predictable. That is very, very cheeky. Let's go. The land's not collaborating at all in that one. 3 lands in the top 15 cards of our deck is not a recipe for a winning game at all. Unfortunately. So sitting on about 50% so far. You win one, you lose one, you win one, you lose one. Sounds like early season platinum to me. Stevie B, 1982. Revealing a beautiful Midnight Hunt Plains with some jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, Doomscar. Surely, right? Must be a Doomscar. Let's confuse them and throw out a Plains. Magecraft. Okay. Interesting. We've got nothing reactive, so we can just keep foretelling things away. Probably go for a showdown next turn. Interesting. Haven't seen anybody playing this card, to be honest. Let's see what we get. Land, 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 land. Wow. Great. What do you mean good game? Double strike, that's 8. 7, 14, yeah, that's a good game. Disgusting. Disgusting. I won't take that hit. I'm not going to wait around for that nonsense. My CPU temperature is sitting on 97 degrees, guys. So I apologize for having to put these fans on. I'm sure you can all hear them in the mic, but that is dangerous levels of temperature. I do not want to fry my CPU. I've tried undervolting. It worked for a while, then I did a Windows update. Now the undervolting is not working again. Probably need to update my version of throttle stop. Those of you who are running laptops with 9th gen Intel Core i7s, you know what I'm talking about. This thing overheats like crazy, and then you get throttling, which is just not nice. That's a mulligan for sure. We still haven't done the free Epiphany off the top with Velomachus since we started the game, so I'm pretty interested to get that going on. Another Rakdos list. Wow. What's that? 3 in a row? We're not in a row, but 3 today already. Goes for the dispute on his turn. Another Ghast. Why not? Opus in the yard. Always first. Remember. Okay, Opus, no. Dragon's Fire in hand. Bottom of library. Oh no! Oh no! Wrong order. Oh, that was terrible. That was a terrible move. Oh, that was a terrible move. No matter how many times I play with iteration, I always get that wrong. That is horrible. That is a very bad thing to happen. I did not want that to happen at all. What can you do? You live and you learn. It's probably time for some scalding action. Get my scalds on. If we top deck a mountains or a plains, we are going to definitely be okay. Let's get some more red and let's get rid of these guys. Bye-bye now. I'm hoping he plays something, some sort of a threat. Oh god! Main deck duress. Why did he do that? Why could you do that to me, friend? How dare you? He's probably got grasp. No? Down to 16. The opponent's bricking hard, which is making me a very happy person. Disciple. Still no lands. Poor guy. Poor guy. That, it doesn't feel good when you beat somebody who's got 2 lands on the field. I don't feel like I played, I did anything very special there. I just had more mana than the guy. Come on. Let's get this combo off once on camera. Then I can go make myself a cup of coffee with a big smile on my face. A lot of glare off of my bold dome. I'll keep it. It's worth a try. It's not a horrible hand. Could be better. Okay, mono green. Bring it on, bitch! This is gonna be a... We need to quickly get... Okay, so there's no instants and sorceries other than Blizzard Brawl in this deck that I need to be caring too much about keeping up mana for Test of Talents for, so we can definitely foretell a sword coming for the next turn. Old Growth Troll. Not looking very good at all. We need a Magma Opus for the Draconic Intervention, like ASAP, or we are dead. Dead as dead can get. He knows I've got a counter. Just throwing me a Kazandu Mammoth. No second red source. That is game over. Mono green is so good right now. For those of you who didn't catch my video, a few days back, I did a mono green Stompy video, net deck. I just blatantly net decked and played the top green list in the format, and I got 100% win rate on 8 games in a row with Asika and Ren and 7. Of course, it's a very small sample size. But I ended up playing the deck a lot more into Mythic, and then the win rate, pewtered off. It ended up sitting on around 67, almost 70%, which is still really, really high. Like really, really high. Looking like the mirror. Oh yes. The definite mirror. This is going to be a tough one, because they're probably just playing the straight Prismari version, and I am not. Okay, so hand, library, exile. Let's discard the... Oof. Let's discard the mountain. Okay. Definitely playing the pathway on red. We've got enough white for all of our white splash needs at this point. There's the Goldspan. Should have discarded the intervention. Alrund's Epiphany, yada yada yada. Okay, uses the mana for the egg. Already Alrund's, yeah, it's going to be Alrund's, activate the Smoldering Egg. This list is so disgusting right now. This is the obviously more competitive version of the list, you know? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's almost as bad as Ren and 7 a Seeker's Chariot. Like, endless turns, plenty value. A good player can easily keep that egg on the field with counter spells. It's really good, clearly. I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing a lot of that in Worlds in the next couple of days. In the next week. World Championships start in exactly a week. On the 8th, I'm going to be hosting a watch party on my Twitch, and I'll probably do it on YouTube. If anybody wants to jump on and, you know, talk shop, drink beer, watch Magic with me, come to the BrewLab. I'll make some popcorn. My wife's going away for a few days with my son. I'm going to be alone at home in my boxes, drinking beer and watching the best players in the world play Magic. It's going to be a thing. I'd love to have you there along for the ride. Okay, sure. Finally, something new. Zombie, mono black zombies. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Showdown. It's showdown. What? Message from the wife. Lunch appointment with the in-laws. Pretty stoked. Fortunately, this says non-token. Go for the removal, please. Very nice. What's in his hand? A Lolth. A dramatic finale. Nice. That's very nice. Unfortunately, that's one Alrund's down the drain, but we do have another one in hand, which is probably going to win us the game. Also, your power word kill is completely useless, my dear fellow. Now watch this. do you like them apples? Wait, is that enough to cast Alrunds? It is. So, you know, like, that's it for today. We've reached the 1 hour mark. I think I mean, the win rate was not fantastic, but it was fun. I think we can all agree that that was pretty fun. I don't know if I prefer the Scalds version or the non-Scalds version. To be honest, they felt very similar. Probably the Scalds version, just because I love that card so much. But when playing the mirror, which is going to be everywhere on the ladder, just be aware of this, okay? These are the new decks that are like dominating the meta. Mono green, Ren and 7, something with Ren and 7 and a Seeker's Chariot in it, whether they splash blue and black for Sultai, whether they just splash blue for Simic, something with Ren and 7 and a Seeker's Chariot in it, or this something, you know, I'm playing the janky version of the turns deck, but Alrund's Epiphany, Goldspan Dragon, Tested Talents, Saw It Coming, on and on. And, you know, there's probably only really going to be Goldspan in there. All the other dragons have just disappeared. It's like control spells and Goldspan Dragon and lots of turns, and then the Hall of the Storms Giants. There's a really good article that's up now on the Mothership website, magicthegathering.com or whatever it is, and go read it. It's a really good article. The heading is something like, you know, World Championships on the way. Here are some of the deck lists, and they discuss the meta a little bit. It's I think they can write an article like that because they've got a little bit of insight to what's going to happen. Either some people have already you know, put in their deck submissions for Worlds, or they can just tell from the metadata that they received from the game. But it's looking like those two lists that I just mentioned are going to be in you know, the top 50% plus of the decks that are brought to Worlds. But it'll be interesting to see whether they got it right or wrong. Only a week left to go. So, alright, that's it for now. I'm gonna be doing another video later on tonight for sure. Something a little bit more serious that I've got in store. I'm not gonna spoil anything, so you're gonna have to tune in again for the live stream. And until then, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.